Right, guys, welcome back to Football United TV. Let's talk some Arsenal, shall we? After the intro. Hello, guys. Welcome back to Football United TV once again. This is Gunners from All Corners, the show where we say Arsenal in multiple different languages. I'm here with some of my very best friends. That's Feetly, Steven, mate. How are you?
How, I'm doing all right. Right, better than some people are predicting, but I'm doing okay.
Yeah, it's always good. Nitesh, mate. All the way from very far away. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm waiting for Steven to do that Arteta in show and Rafa is shit, obviously. So you know it.
You got a long,
But
long wait.
but just one shout out to Shocks and his family who passed away 2 days ago. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
so for that and if anyone is watching, like when they watch this video as well, if you can check out the GoFundMe page, so you can contribute for his family and his daughter as well. So big up to all you guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Caio, meu amigo, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thanks. I'm happy to be here again. I
Yeah.
have been for a long time without speaking about Arsenal because of work, New Year's, and I didn't have a lot of time to talk about the best club in the world and the best manager in the world. But now I'm back. I
Go
needed
ahead.
to do that. I
He
needed.
doesn't know he's muted. He doesn't know he's muted. Well, you
So
you could say that your silence came at a very bad time, right? Because Arsenal's been playing well. That's actually the first subject that we're going to be touching upon. How's that feeling? Because you're probably happy that Arsenal's doing well, but like you'd probably like to be more present for that.
yeah, but the thing is, we didn't win any trophies yet. So
Yeah.
it's going well, but I'd rather to win and win titles, win trophies. And I think we can do that, but let's see.
Yeah. Absolutely. Right. Solo, absolute legend. Check his introduce yourself show with Maddie yesterday. It was great. Steven, let's start with you, man, because I feel like the other three are going to be a little more in line. How do you review Arsenal's season so far? What's your take on it?
First three games, we were looking at the abyss, weren't we? So,
Sure. Yeah.
um, it's done well. Look, um, results wise, yeah, he's done well, and we're in a position that we probably didn't think we would after three games. But what gets me is just the performances, and especially big game performances, and in when it comes to fighting for the top four, you're going to need to compete about big teams. And are can Arteta cope with the pressure in these big games? That remains to be seen. So I'm not holding my chickens yet. Like, 'cause he's still got to get through that, and then next season after that as well.
Mhm.
So, but
Okay.
yeah, he's done okay for so far. He's done well.
All right. Good. Okay. That's a fair assessment. I just want to ask though,
This
because
is all you're getting.
uh, I do want to ask because I know sure we didn't compete against Chelsea or City in the beginning of the season, but even though we lost, you could argue that we did compete against United and City, couldn't you? Like
Not City. No, the second. Oh, the second City game.
Yeah, the second City
Oh
game.
yeah.
Yeah.
The second City game, but again, like it's all right competing for 90 minutes of a game. What lost us that game is our heads, right? Our heads went right, which shows to me in January he needs to get experience in the side because when something goes wrong, we all fall apart. So especially against big teams like Man City. Man City won that game because they were the ones who kept their heads. People can say it's a robbery of this, that, and the other, but in the end, right, our mentality won. So
People say
right, and
people
that's why it.
have, and I have said that. Yeah.
Yeah, you, for example, like so. For me, that's probably why I'm still skeptical. About top four because he's gonna need to
Yeah.
perform against these teams and get the results. And like the performances show that if something goes against us, we fall apart.
Yeah. Wait a second. Well, first of all, the Substatic, Miss Mel, the
But
Queen of
now,
Arsenal. Welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. Great to have you here watching us. If any of you two want to join, just give me a shout. Okay, I'll send you the link. Right. Who wants to address that first? Caillou, Nitesh. Like Stephen
I
wasn't
can go.
actually that negative, but I want to hear your take.
Yeah. That's the minimum amount of crib that is going to come out from Steven this whole season.
don't push your luck.
Go ahead, Caillou. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that we can't argue with what Steven just said because it is the truth. We need to keep our heads cooler in the during the games, especially during these big games against City, against United, and I would say even against in away matches against lower sides. Like we went to Everton and we couldn't keep our heads, we couldn't play our game most of
Rafa,
all,
Yeah.
and it was a
That's the second topic of debate. Everton.
that game was awful in my opinion,
Yeah, that was
and
horrible.
so it is the next step, I would say. And we could do that by bringing some experience to our side, some experienced players. But I think that we could also develop our players, our young players, to be these rocks, this solid mentality. And they need to experience these games against City, against United, so they will build their confidence.
Yeah.
And that's the next step.
Right. Yeah. Like how do you how much more excited are you at this point of the season than you were at this point of the season in the previous like 3 years? Because like I know like Arsenal still like I wouldn't say we're favorites to reach top four, but it does seem like the season that we're finally able to fight, like compete for it for a long time. For
you
a
say
long
two
time though.
years, not three, because 3 years includes 18-19 season. We were still competing in third at one point.
But we finished
Yeah, of course, because we lost our heads.
yeah, but I don't know. Like I had a I always had a really bad feeling about Unai Emery. I never felt safe. I never felt confident.
And during that season, we had a big stretch of games where we were winning, but the football was not great. So we competed to the end, but it was not great at all. Actually,
Yeah.
I think
But you
that
could
it was
say,
not sustainable.
but then you can also say that about until the last few games. You could say that about
Yeah,
half of
yeah,
the
of
season.
course, of course. But the process is different because with Unai Emery, we had a lot of experienced players, but not good players, and players that were already declining physically, mentally, technically. And now we are building something. We needed 2 seasons to develop our squad, to rebuild, and now we're kind of we can only go forward from now on. I think.
So why are you not
I
saying
don't
we're
know.
getting top four then?
No, I think we are competing and we have a good chance, but I wouldn't say that it is guaranteed.
Yeah.
For sure, not guaranteed.
By the time this video is done, Steven will be pulling out his hair and he'll be like Pep Guardiola in his next
I
video.
don't know what you're on about. Like, because I want Arsenal to win. I put my agenda aside every 90 minutes. Right, go and prove me wrong. But in the long term, right? Will he win us the? It's all right finishing top 4. Will he win us a title against the top managers? No. That's where I stand. So I don't see why we should be wasting our time with Arteta when we can get an elite manager in.
See,
We can do
honestly,
it.
I don't think even Tuchel is gonna win a league. I don't think he has the capability of winning the league anyways in the Premier League.
But
With-
but
and
you've still got Klopp and Pep who can quite easily do it. Klopp can do it with basically a starting 11 and a substitution bench. Right? So you still got them two, and every time we have played them two, we haven't come out on top. And when it comes down to it, it's if Arteta gets top 4, right? There's no way I'm gonna sit there and go right, get lost, because you've earned. If you get top 4, you've earned a right to have a go at the Champions League, right? So he's earned a right to have a go at the Champions League. If he does, with the way we've been playing so far, if he doesn't get top 4, then it proves to me he can't handle it. Because if he can't
See-
handle top 4, what makes you think he can't handle the league?
no, the thing is, even Klopp with his best team has won one league. Man City is that good, and they have that kind of money and backing and a squad. So even Claudio Ranieri won a single league. The thing is, if Klopp can win a second league, then Klopp puts his stamp on the league. But this year, I don't think it's going to happen again. I'm not sure it's going to happen again because Salah and Mane look like they're more or less done. So I am also saying that apart from City right now, there aren't any real favorites to win the league.
So
Yes,
you're
one
saying you
manager
can't
could-
compete with
hold
Man
on.
City?
One manager can win the league possibly maybe once. I'm not saying which manager. Klopp has done it once. As I said, Ranieri did it once. Chelsea has done it once. But the thing is, they have done it with different managers. Now Chelsea's squad is changed. It's quite different. They're having a lot of change of players. Liverpool has a lot of change of players now. And eventually, I think at the end of this season, I don't think Mane and Salah will be there. I think either one of them will be gone as well. Firmino is looking as done. He's not going to be there. So the thing is, Man City are clear favorites right now in every league season. If there is an alternative winner, it's a surprise. It could be anyone. Klopp isn't
Well,
going to win
so-
it a second time that easily.
Hang on, so you're waiting for us to basically win it by luck? The fact
It
we
is-
got
it
lucky
is
because we happened to
the
have the
only
right
way.
manager and the right team at the right time,
No,
and Man City had a poor season. Because
no.
that's what it
The
sounds like.
only way anyone can beat Manchester City right now is a bit of luck and Man City having a poor season. What is the other way of any other team winning the league in
Well,
front of
then to be
Manchester
fair,
City right
Liverpool
now?
deserved their title. Liverpool deserved their
They
title
did.
when
They
they won it,
did. They
and they've
did.
also
No one is
deserved the
denying
Champions
that.
League. They've also won a Champions League as well.
Yes. Yes. No one
So
is
you
denying
can't
that.
just walk away saying Klopp can't win the league again if he can win the Champions League.
No, if he can win it
No,
again,
leagues
then
and
there are two
Champions League,
managers.
that's two very different things. You know
Yeah,
that.
but if you're good enough to do it, you're still good enough. He did manage to prove next season he's good enough to win the league, right? And this is the point. Arteta does not have that experience. That's why I don't trust him in doing it. And that's why I want someone who has won leagues to go and do it because he's got a winning mentality in
You know
doing it.
when, Steven, you know when you're gonna find out if Arteta if he actually has the skills
Has
to
the
do that.
kahunas to do it.
When City gets him as their manager, that's when you're gonna find out, because that's what's gonna happen.
No, I
Then you're
don't
gonna
think it
find out
even.
if he
I don't
actually-
think it
To
even
be
matters
fair-
who City's manager. Mancini won the league with them. Pellegrini, I think, won the league with them as well.
Whoa, hold on, hang on. Arteta took over a game. What did he do in that game? Lost
Okay,
against the side at the bottom of the league.
we're going a little off topic here. Let me read some comments.
But everyone can
Yo.
win with Man City though.
Coutinho to Villa is a good deal today. Surprised Arsenal didn't make
Yeah,
a
I
move.
didn't. So I'm surprised you didn't go down.
We're gonna be talking about transfers in the second part of the show, but thanks for the shout out. Big up Miss Mel, big up everyone, and I'm sorry to hear that, cuz I hope your son gets better really quick, and don't worry
Big
about
up, man.
me. Like we have a great panel. Take care of your son and watch us if you can.
Yeah.
But Nitesh, I feel like what's your take on this season so far? Because I feel like you were answering people, not.
No, I just
He's
wanted
doing
to
some
make
weird
one
things in his
last
bedroom.
point. No,
Sorry.
Steven, don't be jealous. Don't be jealous.
Mate,
the thing is-
hey, I'm not going down your route. Trust me. No.
Steven, shut up. Let him talk.
No, but the thing that I was saying was that again, beating Manchester City right now as part of the league, if we have to be there, I don't think any team is right now capable enough to beat Manchester City consistently. You may get one off on and off game here from them, like we did in the last game that we played, but the referee or whatever way we lost our cool, the referee helped them whatever way they survived. So Manchester City are the league favorites. Arsenal definitely need to just focus right now on finishing in the top 4 or top 6. I would be happy with either. I think we have shown a fight for top 4. So that is something that we wanted at the start of the season. Now, anywhere between 4 to 6 is good for us. Other teams are having their problems. Tottenham does not have Son. He's going to be missing for till the end of the month. Leicester do not have Jamie Vardy anymore for few months.
Leicester not in the equation, to be honest.
No, but anyway, so these teams have fallen down. What I'm trying to say. So I think this should be a boost for us to try to finish in the top 4 or in the top 6. Definitely, these were the teams last season. So now it is our time that we should take the momentum that we have so far and push for a top 4 at least. And wherever we finish after that, that is dependent on luck and maybe how we play towards the end of the season.
But the problem I'm getting is that in the long term, you're saying that because Man City are the favourites, we got to hope they just have a bad season. That's what it sounds like.
See,
Like,
when
like
if you want to
it's
go
kind
back
of
to
like
that,
relying on we do a Leicester basically.
if you want to go back to that, then the best example is 2 seasons ago. Liverpool drew 2 games and they lost the title to Manchester City. That's how good they were. If Manchester City has that kind of a season again, which
Me
team is
free.
going to compete with them with their squad, with the squad that they have currently? Even
But then last
Arsenal
season,
can
Liverpool
definitely,
won, the season after, sorry, Liverpool won the league.
because Manchester City dropped off completely. They lost games to Norwich and some of these, not Norwich, I think Sheffield United and Newcastle, and these were the teams that were beating them that season. So the thing is, it has to be a combination of both. The team has to play good, and the other team, Manchester City, has to struggle.
That's a good point, Stephen. I mean, City's arguably the best team in the world. There's only like 2 or 3 teams worldwide that could compete them in a league system if they're playing well. He's got a point. He's got a point. Liverpool's starting 11's phenomenal, but their squad is so far off City's. So far off City's. I'd actually argue that Chelsea have a better squad than Liverpool, not a
You
better
could argue
team.
Man United's got a better squad, but they don't use it properly.
Yeah, that's a different
Have
question.
we still got to worry about what Man United are doing? If they get a top manager in, Jesus Christ, we can be worried about them because they've got a good squad.
Chelsea has a
They've got a
better
good
squad
squad.
than Manchester United.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
sometimes he's outperforming your squad. Kind of what Conte does every time he gets a job. And still can't get worries at Tottenham. But there you go.
Don't worry, he's not going to win anything at Spurs.
I bloody hope so.
Yeah, I mean, Conte's very successful, but he's not that successful. Do you have any belief that Conte is actually going to get Spurs a trophy, Caio?
I think that will handle itself. Tottenham
He's
doesn't
the
win.
Tottenham.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah,
win.
yeah.
Look,
All right.
yeah, we can laugh at Tottenham, but like the other times that he's gone to any sort of team, he's gone and won trophies. So you can't sit there and say he's not a winner, even if he doesn't win anything at Tottenham, because we could sit there and say it's Tottenham.
Yeah, but the problem, I would say that every time Conte's arrived at a club, he had a better squad to at least push for the title. Something like 15 players, just like you said about Liverpool. And he doesn't have it at Tottenham because the squad is very unbalanced. They have Kane, of course, they have Son, but they don't have a good
you really-
midfielders. They don't have good defenders.
I'll ask you this then: do you really feel that he's gone to Tottenham and not expected in the summer transfer window not to spend? Knowing Conte,
Of
the way
course.
manager he is.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
probably
of course.
pulling
But
Daniel Levy's balls right now, saying like, "Can you give me some money, please?"
yeah, but that's a problem because
Mm.
after 2 seasons, 2.5 seasons, he's already picked fights with the club's owner, with the fan base, with the players, and suddenly he's out the door, and they are not.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
only reason he's
that's
gone
the
to Spurs
thing.
is sign a big contract, get sacked, sit home and get paid. Because he left Inter on a good, you can say with a handshake deal, and like everything is done, no money taken. So he's just gone to Spurs. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't work out, get paid by Spurs.
But you're
That's
saying
pretty
you
much
couldn't do
it.
anything with Arsenal's team?
He's
No,
Because I
I'm
he's
think
not
he
he's
saying.
could.
just like Conte is a great manager, mate, but he's so far off our profile. It would have made no sense. Like Conte's entire career is he goes to a rich club, he wins the league, then he creates problems and leaves. He never stays for more than 2 seasons, 3 seasons. That doesn't happen.
But
And with
then,
Tottenham, it's going to be different because he's not going to win the league. We all know,
but then
like
to be
they're
fair, we
never
can
going
say
to
that
win
with
the league.
Chelsea, but Chelsea have won more in the last 20 years than we have done. So why can't we just do the same? This is what I don't get. Why do we have to sit here and say you've got to sit here for 4 years with a certain manager we don't even know is actually going to be successful? Right? When you can sit there in 2 years, get a manager, he'll go, and then get another manager and win another someone else.
We're
Like, I don't.
Conte
it's
Conte
different
inherited
profile.
a Chelsea team that had won the league one season before he came. Like one season, then the next season they finished eighth, and then they again won the league. So it's not just about that. And also look at the squad depth. If at Tottenham he does not have that. Now, if he does something like challenges for the top four or finishes in the top four, then maybe you can say that okay, Conte has delivered without big names. He doesn't have too many players there in the squad as well, and that is what he can do in the Premier League. See, I can understand and I appreciate what he did at Inter, but I don't rate him that highly just because of that Chelsea league win. Because as I said, if it was any other team, if Manchester City was playing like they are playing right now, Chelsea would not win the league that season. But because again Manchester City had their own problems, they want to win the Champions League, which Pep has failed to do. Their target has been Champions League football, like they want the trophy, which Pep has been brought into. Again, he's not done it. They were at that point of time, I think they were about to get rid of their manager, and was it Pellegrini or Pellegrini? I think was the Manchester City manager at that point of time when Conte came in and he won the league. So at that
It
point
was
of time,
Pep
they were
already.
it
It
was
was
Pep
Pep's
already.
first season. First
Oh,
season.
Pep's first season. So
They
managerial change.
they
Yeah.
finished third, I think.
Yeah. So there was a managerial change, and it is understandable in his first season. So they won the league. But the thing is, if Conte has now come to Spurs, if Spurs does not show you even top six, I don't think he's going to win any title because they were already knocked out of that Conference League. League Cup, they were embarrassed by Chelsea. And I don't think they'll be doing much in the FA Cup as well. So the only title they had was the Conference League to win. And they got humiliated and kicked out there as
Well,
well.
All right, no. Don't reply to that. Okay, we're not here to talk about
it's.
Spurs. Come
I don't know.
on.
Just I just don't get. I don't get it. Where you want a manager who's won two Serie A's, a Premier League with Chelsea when they were 10th in the season before, right? Has also won Coppa Italias as well. Number of coaching awards as well. Like, like no, it might not
I
work
would
at
not have
Tottenham because it's
complained.
Tottenham. But I'm sorry, like to turn down someone who gets 62% rate of wins, right, in Milan, and also 65% with Chelsea when they should have finished really fifth in that season. To be honest, it weren't that good. Like, and also be able to do what he did against Italy. Don't forget
Okay,
that. Uh,
Steven.
it's a joke.
I would not have complained if he came, but we got to move on. We
Mm,
actually got through the first semester review kind of like
in one piece.
a lot faster than I thought. Yeah, than I and a lot faster than I thought we would. So I'm gonna do something I wasn't actually counting on doing. Who's the player of the season for Arsenal so far? We have a lot of shout outs.
Ramsdale.
I
Ramsdale.
knew
And
you
he's
were
man
gonna
of the
say
match
that.
in
I knew
every
you were gonna
single
say that.
game. He's nearly been man of the match in every single game. How can you not give it to him?
All
Because
right,
why? Because he had a lot of chances, and people say we fixed the defence. Well, why did we concede a lot of chances then?
all right. Caio, who's player
You
of the
can't deny
season?
it.
I would say that our most important player in the pitch is Tomiyasu, but for me, the player of the season so far is Starboy Bukayo Saka.
All right. What about you, Nitesh?
I think player of the season I'll give it to Ramsdale as well. Bukayo Saka can be my player of the year. Like he's been my player of the year this entire 2021. So if you go for player of the year, I think Saka. But I think season wise, yeah, Ramsdale because Leno was awful. Leno was disgraceful at
If
times
if you're
last
doing
season.
player of the year, I would say Smith Rowe. Actually, to be honest, I
No,
think he's
Saka
come on
has been
leaps. I
better.
think he's come on leaps and bounds than Saka because I think after obviously what happened in the Euros and it's not even actually to do with that. To be honest, since he came back, one, he was kept being played all the time. He didn't get a rest, and you could tell because like 20 minutes in, he was out. He's like out of it. I feel that because of that, his performances were dropping. So for me, whether Smith Rowe, who was getting rest, came on leaps and bounds. Like he was, for me, player of the year for me because he did well in the season before as well. So for me, it'd be Smith Rowe and then Ramsdale player of the season so far.
I think Ramsdale, Saka, and Tomiyasu as well. Takehiro Tomiyasu. They're all great shouts.
Copyright.
It's gonna sound weird because of the last game, like he was probably our worst player in that game. But I would say Gabriel Magalhães.
I knew you were gonna say that.
He's been so solid, mate. He's been so solid. You can't say it's ridiculous.
We're going on about Ramsdale.
Yeah, no, player of the season, Gabriel is one of the contenders.
Yeah,
I don't agree with it, but I can accept it.
He's been phenomenal.
I'll say defender of the season.
Then again, yeah, dude, our defense, like him and Tomiyasu, they're both great shouts for defender of the season. Ramsdale's been playing great. I think Martinelli's kind of tough to say because he wasn't playing in the beginning of the season, but Saka's definitely a good shout as well. And Odegaard took a little longer to adapt. Worst player of the season. This one's a little easier.
Xhaka?
Me.
I don't care.
Caio, go ahead.
I would say worst player of the season. But do we really need to think about the worst player or the most disappointing one? Because I would say most disappointing.
It's two.
I would say Nico Pepe for most disappointing player. And worst player, I would say Cedric. I don't know. He did not play that much, but
yeah.
Let me give you a hint. He got COVID in Dubai recently.
I don't know.
Aubameyang.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking. That's who I thought like was the obvious answer.
My player of this season, you could give it to Xhaka because he's supposed to be not here. Like you weren't supposed to be here. Right? You could also go Ben Shite. That guy, I could pass the ball better. This guy is a suspect. I could be lying dead in hospital and I could pass the ball better. He's supposed to be a ball playing centre back. No way. You can't convince me of it. No, that guy's got no ball takers. Like he's scary. Like I'm glad he's got Gabrielle next to him. Like because every time, I think even when Holding came on, we started being suspect against City. Like I'm sorry, no, I can't stand him. Like we paid 50 million for him. That's even worse.
You do realize that is also coming down to how bad Holding can be.
Yeah, but like the problem is that Holding hasn't played. Right, a lot of people picking Nico Pepe. He's hardly played this season. Right, so like, why is that? Because the manager's got an agenda. Clearly, he was top goal scorer last season, and all of a sudden he doesn't get picked. I'm surprised he's not on the blower saying, "Get me out of it." This guy's an idiot. Like, he needs an give him an overlapping right back or left back on either side. He'll do wonders for you. Wonders. So this Pepe hatred is like BS for me.
It's not hatred.
Absolute B.
It's
It
not
is.
hatred. He said
You're picking him as the worst player when he's not even played.
He said biggest disappointment, probably because he hasn't been playing as well.
Well, how
No,
about his fault?
one second. Drop the negative attitude right now because Miss Mel is here.
Miss Mel.
Hi,
Marley. I haven't spoken to you in ages. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you're well. Arsenal's been doing a lot better than before. I've actually become very, very positive as a Gooner. Nitish would be proud of me. I'm supporting Arteta more than before.
Awesome.
I've kind of seen the light a bit more now. But if we go on a bad run again, I'm like
Steven, we can all send you tissues. It's okay.
Mate, I don't want to know what you do in your bedroom.
It was actually for your eyes, not for other things, but okay.
No. I trust me, I don't want to know what you do in your bedroom, mate.
I came here because I have good news. Cedric Suarez, at the moment, is linked to Atletico Madrid, surprisingly,
What?
on a loan with an
What?
obligation to buy on a permanent deal.
Yeah, they sold Trippier to Newcastle.
Yeah, so they've already done the Trippier signing, so they need a
What about-
replacement,
what about
and they're
James?
looking into Cedric Suarez. And by all means, I'd give them Cedric Suarez on a free because of how good he is. He's a world-class footballer, and I'm sure they could use him.
I mean, I just thought that. Thank you. I was not aware of that, but Nitesh, like they sold Trippier, sure, but then they lost their minds.
Yeah,
Like, shouldn't
well, Cedric's
shouldn't
not
they
that
replace
bad.
him with a good
Do you
right
guys think
back?
Trippier would be a good signing though for Newcastle? I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think he
I
will
think
end
he
up
will.
working in their system. I don't know.
No, it would work for them in the championship, where they will be next year.
They will not be in there next year.
I pray that they go to the championship.
No,
I pray.
the Cedric
Why?
Suarez thing just came out about half an hour ago.
Alright.
From one
about
of the
Ivanovic?
reporters for the Daily Mail.
Yeah.
So hopefully that means we get rid of him and bring in someone like the likes of a Tarek Lamptey, to as a replacement in the summer.
I don't think he'll go.
I
don't
think he's.
he's going.
I mean,
Can I just make a point? I think he's been a decent backup to Tommy S. To be honest, he's been a
Yeah,
decent
he's-
backup. To be honest,
I mean, he might be
Like-
a decent reserve right back in the Premier League, but Tomiyasu has been so good that I don't.
yeah,
He's
no,
been
that's what I'm
really
saying.
The level dropped
yeah.
so
But
much.
we're all moaning about squad depth in our squad, and then like when someone's a good backup, we want to get rid of him.
Let me hurt your positive vibe there a bit. If Cedric goes on loan and he's sold, Hector Bellerin will be the backup to Tomiyasu.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
that's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true, Nitesh, because Real Betis want to keep Bellerin. We're saved.
What? Are they gone mad?
No, they actually said they're interested in keeping Bellerin on a permanent.
What did he do? Pay him off?
I think
No,
he's
to be
I mean, I
honest-
haven't been watching, but I think he's playing well.
To
Sorry.
be fair, he's been playing well at Real Betis, Marley, as you said. But the other thing is, I think Bellerin before the injury was a great footballer, but after the injury, it was an ACL major injury. He just wasn't the same footballer, and he had a lot of mental health issues that he came out openly and spoke about under the Wenger era. That he struggled a lot at the club.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the day that he came to watch our game, 3 of our right backs came out COVID positive. So it's better that we keep him away. If you saw that
Yeah.
meme.
What?
All right. Well, before we get we get more in depth about the transfer rumors, because I'm actually excited to talk about that. Miss Mel, I want to get your thoughts on best and worst player so far.
Help me.
Okay, so best player so far. Do I have to pick one, or can I pick like two?
You can. I mean, if you have like
We've
one
done
that
play-
we've
slightly
done player of the
edges,
year,
but you
then
can
player
name
of the
both.
season.
You can name
Okay,
both.
I'll pick. So there's three, but I'm going to say someone unusual than the common Saka and Smith Rowe. I love that chant, by the way. But I'm gonna say Gabrielle Martinelli. The way Arteta eased him and brought him back into the squad. He came back from a big injury, which is why last season he didn't get much game time and only got cameo appearances. But credit to Arteta for bringing him back into the squad, integrating him, and not only as a key starter for us since the Aubameyang incidents, but coming off the bench and the impact that he makes 2 minutes after coming off the bench, scoring and changing the intensity and tempo of a game. That's what we need in a player like him, and the fire that he brings into our squad. I think he's a gem of a signing, and I really hope the future is upwards and onwards for him. It looks like Arsenal are working on tying him down to a new contract extension as well. So that seems like good news and promising for the future and our
Probably
project
why he's
views.
playing him.
All right. And what about
He might be.
worst?
My worst player so far is no other than Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. The reason I say this is because in the 2 years that he signed for us, thank you for the amazing performances and the FA Cup. However, you are not a captain. You are not the mentality of a captain. You do not have. And I think, as a captain, you're supposed to inspire the youth. You're supposed to be a leader in that dressing room. And I really think he did the opposite. I didn't think he was much of a positive impact to the youth. I think he was more detrimental. And, the behavioral incidents with Arteta, for Aubameyang to be dropped and training on his own by mutual consent with Arteta, I think a lot happened behind the scenes more than him just missing the training and coming late twice.
Yep.
And I think that's a lack of professionalism overall. The high wage is 350K a week. For you to not turn up is the minimum thing to do, and for you not to do that, and missing easy sitters in front of goal, it really frustrated me. And those are games where we could have won. The games like the Crystal Palace game, the Brighton game, Everton game. The Everton game, we gave Everton their first win since September. And because we didn't have a clinical striker who could finish, and for me, that's why Aubameyang goes in my books as the worst player by far this season.
Thank you, Miss Mel, for specifying that it was Aubameyang and our team's fault, not
No.
Rafa's credit.
Who picked him? Right, we had weeks and weeks. We had weeks and weeks of performances where he's been crap.
We're not gonna keep talking about
and he still
that,
picked
please.
him. And he still picked him.
We gotta talk about the transfer.
We all know he should have been dropped ages ago.
We gotta talk about the transfer.
Sorry,
window, yeah.
Come on.
Caio,
one last thing. But I would like to thank Aubameyang personally because he proved my point that why we need Lacazette in this squad.
Caio.
Yeah, but you're saying he's going. So why that you were saying the other day we're not playing him because he's going.
Who's going?
Right. So why you expect you said Arteta's not going to play him because he's going. That's what you said
last
time.
Yeah, but he's trying to extend his contract. He's trying to extend Lacazette's contract. So tomorrow there are stories of Eddie also sitting down with. No, Eddie's also sitting down for a contract extension possibly.
Oh my God, we're getting Eddie. Oh my God. No,
Eddie's not going to renew. I don't think he's staying.
But we're now changing. We're now changing it because we now realise Lacazette's important to the squad.
Lacazette, I was always backing Lacazette. I said Arteta is not playing him.
You said you wanted him.
Because
he wasn't playing him because
moved on.
He's going.
Yeah, guys, move on.
Guys, we've moved on. I mean, Lacazette renewing that's actually kind of an interesting topic, but we'll get to that later on. I want to start with the Lamptey topic, and I want to start with Caio because Caio and I were talking earlier. I think most Arsenal fans, at least the smartest ones, they're dreaming about Bruno Guimarães and a good striker. That striker for me would be Vlahovic. I don't even think Caio's favorite one would be that same one, but we're all dreaming about those two signings. That would cost at the very least 80, 85. So that would be the best January I've ever seen at Arsenal by so many miles. So adding another 40 or so for Lamptey, that sounds a little unlikely. So I'm not sure we should be letting go of Suarez right now, and I want to hear your thoughts on that.
About letting go of Cedric? I think
whole
we
thing I just said. Yeah.
First about the right back situation. I think that if we let Cedric go, it wouldn't be the end of the world because we still have Chambers and he's very, very far from the best we can do. But I could accept half a season with Chambers as an option. And I think his contract will expire in the end of the season. So we would need to go for a right back in the summer anyway. About the striker and the center midfielder conversation, I would say that Vlahovic makes sense. It would not be my first option. I would much rather go for, I don't know, Tony from Brentford or even Calvert-Lewin, because I think those two would be cheaper and they are already Premier League proven. But Vlahovic is a good player indeed. He's very physical. His link up is good, and he's a great ball striker. So none of that Aubameyang missing without the goalkeeper shit. And I am sure Vlahovic would put the ball into the net.
Yeah.
And Bruno Guimarães, for sure. That's my first option for center midfielder would be Bruno Guimarães. He's very consistent. He's very mobile, even though he's not that fast as, I don't know, Kante, but he's very mobile. And I think that the situation Xhaka got himself against City, for instance, he got totally done by Bernardo Silva. Bruno Guimarães would never let that happen.
No.
And on the ball, he's very, very consistent also. He's always showing for the ball, very good passing, very good dribbler, very press resistant. I think it would really, really put us in Premier League competing level.
Yeah. Yeah, mate. I mean, he's one of my very favorite players, and he didn't even come from Fluminense. That's usually one of the requirements, but he's one of my favorite players. Does anyone think otherwise? Like, does anyone have a different shout for the best midfielder that we could get right now? And does anyone
So
think that midfielder should not be the priority? I feel like everyone knows that.
what? So what one did he suggest? Sorry, just quickly.
Bruno Guimaraes.
Bruno Guimarães.
Okay, that's a good option. I'll be skeptical because this one comes from Borussia Mönchengladbach, right? And last time we bought a CDM from Mönchengladbach, guess what we got? Zakaria for me.
Oh, okay, you're talking about Zakaria.
I'll get Zakaria for me, or I get a Renato Sanchez. Right, I think he's quality. Up front, I don't get Calvert-Lewin. I don't get it at all because for the reason being is that when we lost the title, what is it, 2016? We moaned about Giroud not scoring enough goals in the league, right? Not getting over 20 goals in the league, and whilst Vlahovic has got better stats for that, right? That Calvert-Lewin's been spent a couple of years in the league, and he hasn't been able to prove he can score over 20 goals for Everton. So, and he's also very injury prone. And
Don't
we know
go
what we're
too
like
in
injury prone
depth about
players.
the striker thing because I'm going.
No, sorry.
We're going
So I would
midfielder
say,
first, yeah.
yeah. So I'd say Vlahovic, or like if I were really to be ambitious, and we got top four, I'd go all in for Andre Silva because I love his stats. His quality.
That's funny to me. I'll get to that. Like Nitesh, do you agree that André Silva is more ambitious than Vlahovic? I don't get that. He's been saying that. You might think it's a better option, but I can't like bring myself to understand how it's more
Bigger
ambitious.
option. No, but the reason I say it's more ambitious, sorry, just say, is because he's just joined Leipzig. Right? He's joined a big club in the Champions League, which means if we're going to get him, we're going to need to go Champions League. Right? So it's going to be tougher to get him. Right? Not saying that he's not any that Vlahovic is not as good. He could be just as good as Andre Silva, and it's still a risk. But like it's because he's just joined a club, and it's going to be a bigger like it's going to have to take a lot of work to get him.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, but Nitesh, who do you think is the most ambitious choice of the team?
For a midfielder, I think,
No. I'm talking about Vlahovic or André Silva. Who's more like? Is Arsenal being more ambitious chasing Vlahovic or André Silva?
I think overall, from what I've heard, I've not seen much of them, but from what I've heard, I think Vlahovic is the better option because he has the creativity and the finish as well. Plus, he's physical, like in a similar mold to at times to Haaland. So that is what I've heard. I've not seen much of them, apart from maybe Andre Silva in the Euros and maybe a few games or a few clips of Vlahovic. But from what I've heard, as I said, I think Vlahovic is the more complete player right now that is being suggested, and his numbers this season are really good as well. But then again, it's Serie A and it's versus the Premier League. The Italian league is different. England is different. I don't mind if we spend, you can say, I think Patson Daka is also an option that has been linked. I don't mind if we go for a, you can say, mid-priced striker, one from a foreign league, and maybe try to get in a local striker as well. Maybe get in two because we are about to lose two if Aubameyang and Lacazette both leave. So
but
that
right
could
now
be something.
In January,
I just
make I mean to say now and in the summer. One in now and one in the summer.
I just make a point. I didn't know much about like Andre Silva's stats and that, but I will just say is that so far this season, if I correct me if I'm wrong, he's only played 17 games, got 5 goals, three of them assists in the league, 6 games in the Champions League, and 3 goals and 1 assist. So he's probably like I always give a season or two to get players adapted to their team because how long it took Perez to do that. And that's how long it took him. So I don't try and just judge it like the first season he's there. Whereas at Frankfurt last season, he was 28 goals in 32 games and 8 assists on top of that. Right, in total, he played 34 games, got 29 goals and 10 assists, and one
No, he
yellow
was
card.
great, mate. His last
So
season was phenomenal.
That's why I've looked at him, because he gets you goals, which is the main thing.
See, my two names personally would be for strikers, Vlahovic and Dennis from Watford.
Right.
So-
Well, I'm gonna go back to midfielder afterwards then, because apparently we're starting with strikers then. Okay.
So,
So,
that's
yeah.
my fault.
yeah,
So the two
Mel,
strikers, as I said, that
No,
I
go
would
ahead, go ahead.
sign, maybe Vlahovic now, and at the end of the season, Dennis from Watford.
Okay.
He looks the next best Nigerian after Kanu to me, personally.
I'm not happy with the Dennis Zakaria.
Not the Dennis Zakaria,
Okay.
the Watford striker.
No,
Emmanuel
because someone
Dennis.
said Dennis for midfield,
Yeah,
right?
that was me.
Yeah.
that was Steven.
So the thing with the Dennis Zakaria, I
Back to
know we moved
midfielder.
on to strikers, but the midfielder, just to touch upon, the reason I said I'm not happy with Dennis Zakaria is because for Switzerland, and I know it's a different type of football they
Yes.
play or different competition, Granit Xhaka actually starts ahead of Dennis Zakaria for Switzerland. And I think Dennis Zakaria is a like-for-like Xhaka replacement. And for the system and style of play that we play, I think we're trying to move away from the likes of the Granit Xhaka, which is why, we gave him the contract extension to preserve whatever value he has left of him. But hopefully we move on to more of a Bruno Guimaraes type of player profile.
Would
So
you
that's
take
what I just
Sanchez?
wanted to mention.
No, but I quickly, just before Steven, I know you take it to the Renato Sanchez side. I think they want to replace Zaka. That is the whole point.
They do,
If they
yes.
get him, if they get him, Zakaria.
But
so he-
Dennis Zakaria
whatever
is
way
a
you-
Xhaka
Zakaria,
like for like, though.
Yeah,
He
so
is-
Zaka
That's-
will be gone then. So that's the
that-
point.
No,
No,
but I'm
no,
saying
no,
it's
no,
the
no.
same. It's the same player profile. Why would you want?
Yeah, we end up with the same crap. Basically.
No, it's not.
It's not the same crap. It's not the same.
Zaka
crap.
being slow is not
Sorry.
Zakaria's fault. Zaka being slow is not his fault.
Yeah,
Zaka
it's-
making stupid errors is not his fault.
No, but what I'm trying to say, it's the same player profile of
I get it.
what Xhaka offers. I would prefer someone more like a Renato Sanchez or a Bruno Guimaraes.
Can I ask you, man, what do you about Sanchez? Renato Sanchez.
I
she
wouldn't
said
mind
you
that,
should-
but I think there's no solid links to Renato Sanchez at the moment. Right now, the only
there was
midfielder,
one. There
the
was
only
one just
midfielder
now.
we're very linked to is Bruno Guimaraes at the
No,
moment.
we just looked on Sky and they've just said Barcelona are ready to join Arsenal, and this is today, in the race to sign Lille midfielder Renato Sanchez.
Yeah, but whenever
take it a
someone
pinch of
becomes
salt
interested
because it is
in
Son.
someone, whenever someone becomes interested in someone, they're joining Arsenal in the race. Like that's just news. That's how it works. But Caio, it feels so cozy and hopeful right now because yes, like the only midfielder we keep being linked to is Bruno Guimarães, dude. Like back in Atlético Paranaense, he was like
You'd
he
have
was
all your
the
players
shit
the Brazilian.
already. He was mate. Our Brazilian core would become so amazing. But I do want to ask you, if that doesn't become a possibility until the summer, we clearly need to address the problem now. What would you do in that situation? Like who would you have as a backup plan? Like probably a cheaper alternative.
Yeah, I think that from the names that you guys mentioned, I like Renato Sanchez. I think that he's a different player from Bruno Guimarães.
Yeah.
He's much more of a pace and power player, so he carries a lot and he dribbles a lot. His passing range not so good, but again, if we are trying something different from Xhaka, then Renato Sanchez is the real deal. I think Bruno Guimarães is the complete package. And maybe we could talk about other midfielders that are also the complete package, but not at a cheaper price. And Renato Sanchez would be cheaper, and he's also good. He's very,
I make one
very
temporary
mobile.
option. There is a temporary option, and it's temporary because it would be for 6 months for a loan.
Gini Wijnaldum.
Gini Wijnaldum, right?
Gini
for
Wijnaldum.
a loan, for a loan, 31. It's won the Champions League. It's won the Premier League, right? Premier League it's proven. Not happy at PSG. Would be 10 times better than Xhaka, and we'd be a lot faster than Xhaka, right? So, but knowing Arteta, he probably played Xhaka and Ronaldo.
So
Sorry.
there was an update on the Genie
But I would go out as a temporary till the summer, and then get
Now,
someone
now has
but
an update. Now has an
Yeah,
update.
Maybe
One
cheaper.
second, guys.
40 minutes ago, there was an update from Sky Sports. Gini Wijnaldum remains keen to return to the Premier League on loan from PSG. However, the midfielder wants to play regular first team football. So
Yeah,
his
that's us.
priority is somewhere where he gets, full starting minutes. And we could take him on a 6-month loan. I wouldn't mind that. I think that would be a good signing for us.
yeah, and the
Yeah,
other thing
I
is, but
agree.
he's not gonna replace Xhaka. He's gonna play with Xhaka.
He would
He's
play
gonna be
alongside Shaka, yeah, because it
yeah.
will be the 6 months that Shaka's here.
Not just because of that, because he's gonna play more like a box to box player. He's
Yes.
not the guy who plays the long deep passes. So the only way, if by chance you guys want to replace Xhaka, is right now Zakaria is an option, or there are more options maybe in the market. Renato Sanchez again, he's gonna be a box to box midfielder. He's not gonna play in place of Xhaka. He's gonna play in place of Lokonga and Thomas Partey. So again, if he comes in, I think that is where they are trying to add quality. I get the feeling if they get desperate at some points of time, maybe Callum Chambers may be pushed into midfield.
So
Easy
the
man. I
thing
don't
that
get easy man.
Arteta,
No.
the thing that Arteta had said today. Sorry to interrupt. The thing that Arteta said
Sorry.
today was, our priority right now is our midfield because of how light it is at the moment with us loading out Ainsley Maitland-Niles. We're only left with Xhaka and Lokonga. So our priority right now is one striker and one center midfielder. He confirmed that in this January transfer window we would be signing 2 players, which means one striker and one midfielder.
It could
So
be 2
we're going
midfielders
to
as well
get
if you think about it.
and then I hopefully in the summer we would get another midfielder, a proper complete right back, and a striker to replace Lacazette in the summer, I would assume. And I would hope for that.
Jordan, you're a
I'd
Liverpool
say
fan.
the reason I go for it, the reason I go with Ronaldo is just because you're always going to be paying overprice in January. Yeah,
No,
and
it's a
so
loan.
that's why I would say it's an option, and then so we can get who we want at a cheaper price.
But guys, I want to ask all of you who was about to talk.
Me.
Go ahead.
I would say that it's not a problem to go after Renato Sanchez, Wijnaldum, these box to box like players, because Shaka has not been playing as a deep line midfielder this last, I don't know, 3-4 games. He has been playing beat up in the field, so as an 8 almost. And I think Lokonga will do what Partey does in the next matches. And we gotta hope that Lokonga won't get hurt, won't get illness, won't get COVID, won't get nothing, and hope he's available to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get the feeling that we'll probably get Renato Sanchez and Wijnaldum on loan, and probably give Wilshere a 6-month contract or so, I guess.
So you're not as hopeful of the Bruno Guimarães links as some of us
No,
are.
because I think they are going to go put all their money on Vlahovic. I get the feeling they will, because see, the club is already ready. The only thing is the player needs to now accept the deal. If he does, the deal is done. If that does not happen, then maybe they have some money to spare if they get a cheaper option. But if they get Vlahovic, then there won't be too much money left. Even
That's
the
a good
Torreira
point.
deal, I would want Torreira to come back for 6 months, but probably that can never happen now. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, eventually, I think they will go cheap for midfield. They will go for a striker, because right now we need a proper striker. Lacazette is the only one. Balogun is going out on loan as well, probably. They're just holding back for a deal to be completed for a striker. Then they will send him out on loan. Eddie is not reliable in that sense. So the only one that is there is Lacazette. Martinelli is not even playing as a striker.
Yeah. And he's shining as a winger. So okay, Vrogav's here for the last call, I guess. How are you, mate?
You said last call.
Well, I mean, we're close to wrapping up.
Are we playing the song also? Closing time, You're in movies. Come on, you know the song.
I do know the song, yeah. That was a big song in The Office, I think. Right after what was it? Yeah, right after Michael left, right? Michael Scott left.
There's a
I
lot of good
think
movies with that song, by the way.
yeah, a lot of movies had that song and shows as
Okay.
well.
Caio, do you agree
Folding
with that? That
time.
most of the, I mean, we all know that we need a striker and a center mid, but do you feel like the biggest quality should be in striker right now? Because he's right. Like technically, I think Arsenal can spend like 50 odd million this January window. So technically, we can't buy Vlahovic and Bruno Guimarães unless a lot of people spend money on Arsenal players, which I don't see happening.
I don't know if I agree with that. I have said before that Arsenal needs quality in general
Yeah.
in a lot of
It
positions,
needs
and
it needs experience rather than all just quality as well. It's
yeah,
too
yeah,
young
yeah,
of a squad, and it's
sure.
like you saw just in the City game. We lost our heads, and yeah, we just need experience in the side. I'd say one experienced striker, just one experienced in each area of the pitch. Like, so you've got an experienced defender, experienced midfielder, an experienced striker to pick the heads up when something goes wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, were you done, Caio?
Yeah, no,
So
I would say that
Okay.
I'd rather to spend big money now in a midfielder.
Yeah.
Really, I would rather.
I
But
think yeah.
if we can't, and it's something that Arteta said in the press conference, I think that he said that, or I just read it on Twitter. It's about getting the right player for the right price.
Yeah.
So if we can't do that in the January window, okay. So let's not go for the big money signing neither for midfielder or striker. But if we can, even if it's a striker, I would accept in good faith.
Yeah. I agree with that. I mean, the main player, I'd be ecstatic if we brought in Vlahovic, but I think I'd be even happier if Bruno Guimarães joined, because he's like the missing piece in our midfield, and Vlahovic is probably a better player than him. It's just a matter of like he fits Arsenal more than Vlahovic does, most likely. Could be wrong. I'm not really Natasha or Caio that's that clever. Like I'm not intelligent enough to make that assessment. Bargav, I want to hear some of your thoughts. Like I'm even gonna go back all the way. Like just who's your player of the season so far for Arsenal and worst player, and then I want to hear your favorite midfielder and your favorite striker that we should be going for because I gotta wrap this up.
Who's our player of the season?
So far for Arsenal,
The only constant's been like Saka. When you think
Okay.
I
about it,
wouldn't agree with that.
he
In
was
some of the
mentioned.
games he's been poor.
he's been poor in like some places, but like I mean, he's been like the constant. So like he gets like who else would it be? Partey's been in and out. Martinelli's been like he's only just come on. Smith Rowe's actually, you know what? Smith Rowe would probably be the player of the year for Arsenal. I think over the course of the season, like I think he's done like the most.
Ramsdale?
Oh yeah, that's the other one.
There's a lot. We've said Takehiro Tomiyasu and Gabriel Magalhães as well.
That's
I mean,
copyright. It's my fucking name.
Tomiyasu would be like about there too, but
This is like politicians trying to get the vote. My option, I'm gonna feed my
Don't compare
option
it to
to him
politicians.
till he finally decides one of our names.
That's actually right. Moving on, worst player.
worst player.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like our striker's like up there.
Yeah. That seems to be the consensus as well. Aubameyang. All right, fair enough. Now for the
Yeah,
transfer.
but all right. Let me say this: like, who's the player? Who's our like midfielder apart from Partey? Because I feel like Partey's been
Xhaka.
up there too.
I think
He's not that.
Lokonga had
He
better
hasn't been
games.
that
Anthony
consistent.
thinks it's Fred.
No, Xhaka's not had better games.
Well,
No,
Jack
I'm
has only
saying
played like
Lokonga
what,
has
like
had
2
better games. I said
Oh yeah, you can't lock the Congress, yeah.
I don't only talk about Xhaka, Steven.
I was gonna say, mate.
Xhaka is now one of the worst players of the season, mate. It's
He's
Aubameyang
permanently
clear
been the
off
worst
him.
player of the season. Like
Well,
since
that
he
means he
joined.
lost.
because he only played 3 games before like the last 2 games.
What?
Like
He got sent off before in the last Man City game.
Yeah, but it
right?
can't be
Yeah,
him.
he
Yeah.
just
He really
decided.
can't.
No, he can. He just he decided I'm not gonna.
He's not the worst player though.
He's not. He's really not. All right, Bargav. Have you been in tune with the rumors? Like, what do you like? Who's your favorite midfielder out of the bunch and
Mbappe.
striker?
Yeah, so midfielder wise, I mean, no, I actually want Renato Sanchez at this club. I've said this like in the summer.
Okay.
Unfortunately, like the Fulham, his previous like dealings, like people don't like him. But I think like he was really good at he was really good for Portugal at the Euros.
And
Me
Lille.
personally, and I think like he could he could really do like bits at Arsenal.
Okay.
Striker wise, like I mean, you know, everyone knows like I wanted Andre Silva. It ain't happening. So who would be the
Finally,
next best
someone
striker?
supports Steven.
Bhargav is watching too many Steven videos.
No, because I said Andre Silva first.
He should
Richarlison,
be.
let's
Raise
go.
his money for charity.
Richarlison,
What's the
let's
other?
go.
Great point as well. Did you say Richarlison?
Yeah,
No, no.
That's
Yeah,
actually not a
okay.
bad signing. I prefer Richarlison over Calvert-Lewin.
yeah.
Come on.
I don't
Demarai
get
Gray
this.
all
I
over-
really
all
do
over
not
the
get this,
Richarlison
like-
I
all
get
day
that.
long.
I get that.
I do not get this. Like, why do people love Calvert-Lewin over Richarlison?
Because
No, I
he's
said
English,
Demarai
probably.
Gray.
Richarlison's clear.
Richarlison's
the
clear.
pigeon, mate.
You saw him.
The
You
pigeon.
saw him for
He's
Brazil,
just
man.
on and
Come on,
off like a
I see the
tap.
Brazil games. I
The
watched
problem
the
is
Brazil
he's
games.
on and off like a tap, and he's not injury prone. That's the thing.
What Nitish said is true. Demarai Gray has been really, really impressive
Yeah.
this season.
Yeah, but he's a
and the
winger.
only reason I know that is because of FPL. That's the only reason why. Really?
All right. Come on, Charlie. You can't tell me.
It could
Like,
be worse, Mel.
Richarlison's crap.
But it could be Luca basing it off FIFA.
I love Richarlison, mate. He's a former Fluminense player. He's doing well in the Premier League. Of course, I love the guy. He's one of my favorite dudes. I tried
Richarlison
going
is not
live
good
with
enough.
him on Instagram once. I failed miserably.
Yeah.
No, the thing,
He
the
doesn't
thing
love
with
you, mate.
Richarlison, he's more like a
He's
winger
like, I'm a
kind of
big
player.
fan of Richarlison.
He's
No,
more
no,
like a
what?
winger kind of player.
He is.
Yo, like
Hang on a minute.
Richarlison with like in Brazil scored like so many goals this year.
Yeah, he's not a number 9 for Arsenal. He really isn't. I'd be ecstatic if that happened, but he'd cost so much money as well.
But he could do everything.
Everton said
He's-
no to a
he's-
100 million euro offer from Barcelona.
Can I just make a
Which,
point?
which they are
to make
regretting now. But
Marley, but that's not your favourite player. This is your favourite player.
Okay, I didn't say it was my favorite player. One of my favorite players.
Lee met
Yes.
him, look.
I do like myself some GMAG. That's very true. He's a great defender. Wait, did I remove Steven? Or did he?
good job, Marley.
If I did, that was by accident. Okay. I
That's
did
my
not
bad.
need to. Oh, okay. So it was you. Okay. I did not kick anyone out. I'm glad.
Yeah, that was my bad.
Guys, we got to be wrapping up soon. Like, we've gone over an hour. It makes me so happy to have some of my good friends back. Caio hadn't been here in a couple months. But Brogev and Mel, holy crap.
Are we playing the
You
song?
guys
It's good to see you again, Marley. I'll
Are
try
we
to
playing
be
the
more
song?
regular.
What are you saying, Brogev?
Are we playing the song?
What song?
I think he means
Closing
last
time. Closing
He'll
time.
get
I
a
don't know.
copyright
No.
strike. They'll get a copyright strike.
Yeah, no, yeah, that
Alright,
would
never mind.
not.
You'll
that
have
would
to
not be
sing it.
ideal.
You'll have to sing it.
I'm singing it in my head.
I'm gonna, because everyone is quite talkative today. Well, not Caio, because mate, like, these people eat you alive.
Yeah.
You're too
I don't
shy.
mind. I don't mind.
But I'm gonna leave you guys alone in the room for you guys to shout out everything you want to shout out, where to find you, but also if you have any final thoughts. I'm gonna start with Steven, because if he's the last one, he's gonna be too naughty. Right, so
Well, I'm not gonna be naughty. I should be the
Steven.
last one. I'm the co-host.
Oh,
You
that's why
arsehole.
you're starting. You're starting and I'm finishing. That makes plenty sense.
Great,
You know that.
lovely. Yeah, make sure if you want to check out more mayhem and madness and dumbass opinions and just general Luco as well, make sure you go to SFeetly TV. DM me at SFeetly if you ever want to come on. Like hashtag Children's Liver Disease Foundation. That's all it raised money for. And like, I'm still Arteta out fully done. End of right. And he couldn't beat Rafa.
All right. Just so that you're pissed, I'm probably gonna finish with Nitesh. Miss Mel.
I don't have anything to shout out really, but thank you for letting me on the stream today. I hope Matt as well. Shout out to Talk Menu, shout out to Bargav, shout out to Steven and the charity, and that's about it.
Yeah. Speaking of Matt, he turns 50 next week, so try to increase our subscriber numbers by then, so that he has a very happy birthday. Right, bro, Gav.
Yeah, you've seen
Should
it
have
on
told me
YouTube.
that.
You know the usual.
All right. Well, I just want to say to both of you, you're always welcome here. You guys are family. I love you guys to death. So yeah, thank you for.
Oh, can I say one thing actually on that?
Go ahead.
Big up the channel, by the way, and like big up for the guest on the MLS on the MLS content.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about the MLS more often. We have
I'm
a
still
couple
pissed about like my MLS.
I want to get
team,
involved.
like,
I want to get involved in that.
I am still very pissed about my MLS team.
Is that Orlando
If we
City?
played both our like Brazilian players, we would have won the cup, and it didn't happen.
To be fair, Marley, if
We'll
you,
have an
I'll be able
MLS
to
show
join.
and we'll have you join.
If
that
you don't
one,
mind.
really. What'd you say?
If you don't mind, I'll happy joining.
Yeah, mate. You're always welcome here. Caio, you're muted, by the way, but tell us where to find you, and if you have any final thoughts. And obrigado, my friend, as always.
Obrigado. Thanks, guys, for having me. Nice company, nice talking about Arsenal
Apart
finally.
from me.
And people can find me at AFC underscore. Sorry, AFC underscore FOCO.
It
It's
says it
here.
on the bottom.
It's here.
All right, yeah.
It's Portuguese content, but
Let
you
us
can
know when you're
translate
free,
it to read it.
like any time, man.
Thanks, guys.
You're always welcome, mate. Always welcome. And
Why
the
am I so
man
blurry?
beyond the posts. What?
Something's wrong with the camera. I'm all blurry.
He's Arteta settings, mate.
It looks like you're drowning, but you still look good.
Hold on.
So-
Yeah, I think it's better now. Yeah, so
That's
you guys
better,
can
yes.
find me
He
on
looks like he's in a sauna with that camera.
you guys can find me on Beyond the Post on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as well. You can check out the page Arsenal FC fans on Facebook. 380k, 385k plus fans we have there. One message that I clearly want to give is Rafa is shit, which is right here. You can see.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you want to banter Steven, you can definitely go to his channel as well. He'll keep talking about Rafa and how he wants Arteta gone. But and lastly, a big shout out to Shocks and his family. And as I said on Twitter, just check out the link that I posted on the top, like I pinned it. You can go to the Fund Me page, which is there. Dizzy had put out a tweet as well. You can check the tweet in that article as well. It's there. If you want to contribute towards his family, you can just send anything and everything that is possible to help his family. He just passed away a couple of days ago. For those of you who don't know the recent update, so do help him, and the money will be used for his daughter's education and further expenses. So thank you.
That's awesome, mate. That's such a nice initiative, and yeah, I didn't know him, but I'm very sorry to hear about that, and it's good that people are trying to take care of his family. And yeah, my message to you guys is take care of yourselves. I have COVID for a second time now, which is very unfortunate, but I'm doing absolutely fine, and so is my fiance. So is everyone, like pretty much the entire country of Brazil is getting COVID now. It doesn't help that our president is, well, less than smart. Let's leave it at that. But guys, thank you so much for all the support you've been showing. Hopefully, this is going to be a really nice year. We have a lot of really exciting plans. I'm hoping to do some fun Brazilian content as well. I'm gonna try at the very least. Yeah, stay tuned to all the content we have at Football United TV. I gotta find the outro. That's why I'm rumbling
Also,
here.
be sure to subscribe to Football United TV. They're almost at 700 subs.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
I think they're almost
yes.
700 subs, aren't they?
We had, but we lost two. Like one of these days. It's fine. We're bringing it back. Thank you so much for all the support, guys. Ciao.